Today is a special day. For those of you who've seen my videos, you guys know that I'm a pretty transparent person. I post videos of my family, going to the park, my wife having a baby, which borderline questionable, but I like to share myself. I like to share what I do, what's important to me, what my family is like with those that are interested. Today is a very cool day because I'm about to pay off my final student loan. I can't tell you how excited I am to be doing this. I graduated college in 2008. It is now early 2015. So basically, I've set up my camera here. I'm gonna be screen capturing my monitor, and I just wanna share this with everybody on YouTube, family, friends, because this is a cool moment for me, and I know a lot of my other friends are going through the same struggle, and hopefully it will inspire you to really kick it into gear and get these things out of your life, because they truly do suck. So let's do this. Okay. Can't tell you how many times I've seen the front of this login. Look at the top of the page. University Accounting Service, LLC, the standard for innovation in student loan billing.
Wow, cool, wait a minute.
Anyway, sign in. Current balance, $2,465.11. Payments, create new payment. I think I'm gonna pay all in full. Balance, pay toward loan. All right, continue, and confirm payment. Cue that beautiful freedom montage.
Freedom isn't free. It costs folks like you and me. And if we don't all chip in, we'll never pay that bill.
I have to tell you, that felt good. For those of you curious, I want to share a little bit about my backstory on how I was able to do it, what sorts of sacrifices I made in the last couple of years, and I think that some of the resources that I've kind of been listening to and learning from could maybe help you guys. So when I moved to Houston and I got my first real job out of school, I wasn't really motivated to pay down my student loans or the debt that I had in general. So basically from 2009 until late 2014, I've been making the minimum payments, and every so often when I'd get a good chunk of change, I drop that money on the student loans. But it wasn't a regular thing. I mean, it was just kind of when I felt up to it. I wasn't really gazelle intent, so to speak. When my wife was working before we had kids, you know, we had double income, no kids, the whole DINK scenario, and I look back on that time now and I think, where did that money go? You know what I mean? So really what's happened is, since my wife's not been working and she's been staying home taking care of our kids, we've kind of been forced to make ourselves a little more lean, operate a little more lean as far as our finances are concerned. You know, we really took a hard look at, you know, where we spend our money, what are our priorities. My God, we eat out a lot. You know, I spend probably 5 or 6 trips a week to Starbucks, which was kind of my weakness. Unfortunately, I wasn't fortunate enough to have my parents pay for the entirety of my college or had a college fund set aside. So really, between what my parents were able to help me with and the loans that I signed up for, you know, I was able to go to school, and I'm so thankful for that and the people that supported me and helped me get to where I am today. Probably April of 2013, I made a really stupid decision. I decided to go out and buy a brand new truck. I had a car at the time. It was completely paid for, but it was kind of on the fritz. There was the potential for a pretty big engine failure to occur. So in April of 2013, I decided to go and buy a new truck because everybody needs a new truck, right? I mean, I figured I'm gonna have a kid, I'm gonna, you know, I bought a dirt bike, so I'm gonna need to cart my dirt bike around. I tried to justify making that kind of purchase in my head, even though The reasoning for it, I kind of knew in the back of my mind wasn't so sound. So I bought that truck. You know, I spent $30,000 on it. Fortunately, between what I sold my car for and some extra money I had, I was able to pay for half of it down. I had that truck for a year, and it wasn't until last year, June of 2014, my daughter was born. I didn't really use the truck that much. I was paying close to $125 in insurance, and I had a $300 truck payment, all to drive it a mile to and from work. And you know, I kind of had this itchy feeling in the back of my head, like, do I really need this? So in June of 2014, last year, we decided to go ahead and sell that truck. And I have to tell you, it was probably one of the better decisions I've made in my life. Once that truck was paid off, we found a way to make just a single car situation work out just fine. I understand that doesn't work for everybody. Some people just need their own car. But what we saw was, like, you know, $300 plus $125, that's, you know, $425 extra we had. And we're like, wow, you know, what could we do with this money? And then we started to look at other things, right? So then around August 2014, last summer, I started listening to this guy. His name is Dave Ramsey. Those that know me, I am extremely skeptical of, you know, these get-rich-quick schemes that I see out there constantly. All these multi-level marketing things that I see scroll past my Facebook feed. It frustrates me to no end. So I kind of had a kind of a fishy feeling about this guy. But I had him recommended to me by a friend of mine, and I started listening to his online radio archive show, basically his podcast. Just when I was at work and had some downtime, pop my headphones in, or if I'm driving in the car or whatnot. As I listened to his strategies, I couldn't help but be inspired, okay? The people that would call into his show, you know, oh, we paid off, you know, $60,000 worth of debt in 2 years, making X amount of money, and that amount of money was what I made or whatever, you know, and I was like, wow, how does this happen? You know what I mean? So we listened more and more over the following weeks, and we decided to really kick it into action. So it was probably around September, we looked at the amount that Amanda had left on her car payment, and we said, let's be done with it. We had it in the bank. Boom, paid that off. That freed up $364 a month. You know, so between my truck payment, insurance no longer needed on my truck, Amanda's car payment we don't have, that freed up a bunch of money. And then we started to look at other things. Okay, I have this small furniture debt. Said, let's get rid of it, paid it off. And then really what was left was my student loans. And so over the last probably 3 months now, any extra money we had was focus fired on those. For those of you familiar with Dave Ramsey, he kind of has 7 steps, or 7 baby steps is what he says, okay? The first one, save $1,000 for an emergency fund. We had that. 2, pay off all debt using what he calls a debt snowball. Fortunately, by the time we started that, really I had a very small student loan and one that was pretty sizable, the one that I just paid off. Step 3, 3 to 6 months of emergency fund savings. That's something we're still working on. Step 4, invest 15% of your income into retirement savings. The idea is that you wouldn't start step 4 until you've completely paid off all your debts. So his philosophy is, don't put any money into retirement for the time being until you finish off your debt. I cheated there a little bit, but now that I'm completely debt-free, we're gonna be compounding what we put into retirement pretty greatly here in the next couple weeks. Step number 5 is fund your kids' college tuition. There's mixed thoughts there. Some people think that you should fully fund your own retirement because you can always take out loans for college. Me personally, I'm gonna make sure my kids don't have to worry about what I went through. So that's gonna be something next on our radar. Step 6, pay off your house early. So we've done the math, and we think that now that we're entirely debt-free, aside from our house, we think that as long as we stick to our budget and we're diligent in how we save and where we spend our money, we could pay off our house entirely in 3 years. And it's tax season right now, and I have to tell you, I just got my 1098 form back from my mortgage company stating how much in taxes I paid this year, how much in interest I paid this year, and I paid $5,800 in interest alone this year. I'm like, what? Why? Okay, it's time to get serious. I don't want to have to pay that money ever again. So 3 years, the house is done. That's next on our target list. And step 7, build wealth and give. So ultimately, if you paid off your house, you paid off all your debt, you don't have car payments, you have nothing, what's next? Build wealth and give. Invest your money more, essentially, and give gracefully, give willingly to people in need, family members, friends. I mean, if I don't have car payments, house payment, or anything, could you imagine? With all that said, what I'm trying to say is, for those of you in a similar situation, you got a lot of credit card debt, you know, bought this crazy vehicle that you can barely afford, rethink your priorities in life, you know? Nobody really cares about how nice your new Mustang is except for you. Your neighbor might look at it and say, "Hey man, nice car." But really, that's it. I mean, you're gonna get some looks at stoplights, but who cares, right? Dave Ramsey's motto is, live like no one else, so one day you can live like no one else. And that's pretty profound, because from my perspective, if we just sacrifice for the next 3-4 years, the rest of our lives, we're gonna be free. So anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope it helps. Maybe you didn't even watch this long and you closed the video a minute in. I don't know. But you can do it too, and it's still very much a learning process for us. We're constantly tweaking our budget, you know, taking a second, third look at things, priorities. Do we need a bigger vehicle or not? You know, we got to buy all this baby stuff, this and anything. So it's still very much a work in progress for us, and I'm not anywhere near perfect at this, but it's been working for us, and it's nice to see a ton of extra money lying around that was there all along, but was just being used for frivolous things or things that really didn't matter. So thanks for watching, and 3 years from now, I hope to see you guys, and I hope to be recording a similar video saying we paid our house off. So look for that one in 3 years, maybe sooner, who knows? Thanks, peace.